What's going on, everybody out there? Y'all know this is DJ Rick, and I'm the one that started National Sex Day. Yes, I'm the author, I'm the founder, I'm the one that got it going on the calendar. And the official day is June 9th, aka 6/9, 6 month, ninth day. It's all about the industry and about everything that comes along with it. Yes, we always talk about adult actors, actresses, and the people behind the scenes, but we also talk about sexual health, STD prevention, people who have problems with their sexual lives with their partners. We have health professionals. We also have counselors and sex coaches. Anything, everything that we need to do, we put it all under one umbrella and we talk about it on National Sex Day. That's how we do it. But for right now, I have people that are joining me right here on the Zoom call. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to interview some really good talent. And today we go all the way to the coast. I don't mean the West Coast. You got to go the other way down there in the heart of the South, y'all. We have a lovely woman, and the name says it all. This is Paisley Flowers. How you doing, Flower?
I'm doing great.
Are
I
you?
hope you are.
Oh, I'm doing good because see, you're making my flowers blossom. Okay.
Oh, that was a good one.
But it's true, you know. I like a rose petal, but I'm scared of your thorns. You know, that might be something to
Oh,
worry about. Am I right? Okay. Head nods on the Zoom call. You got to say yes, no. So, you doing okay?
yeah, I'm doing great.
Wonderful to have you
I'm
here.
really doing great. Life is good. I'm blessed.
There you go, people. There you go. And she is a performer, you might say. She is an adult actress, and she's done some movies and stuff. Private Society, that's one of my premier sponsors. They're sending me these great people to talk to. So we're going to be interviewing them, but we're going to extend that to those who are just doing movies in general, whether you're amateur or pro, whether you're in the DFW area where I'm based, or if you're abroad. You know, we got the Zoom call for a reason. We want to talk to you, hear your story, and kind of know what's going on. So first and foremost, my dear, what in the world made you just want to get into this? Because I just don't know. A lot of people just, I guess they wake up one day and just look at themselves in the mirror and they say, I'm gonna do adult film. Did that happen to you? Did you watch a film one day and say it looks fun? Did someone talk you into it? What's the story?
Boy, that is a loaded question. And it's like, how far back do we go with that answer? I think for me, really, it started with stripping.
Okay,
I was a stripper before I was anything else in this industry.
sure.
And it was because I was trying to fund my last studio recorded album. I had, Indiegogo crowd fundraising campaigns,
Sure.
And I had a big goal, and I met that goal, but then my financial needs went beyond that goal, and I needed a lot of money in a short period of time. And I was
So,
working all these odd jobs, and I thought I'm just tired of messing around, and I need to make that money. So I went to a local club, and I never thought in a million years that I would do that. And that's kind of what led me down the rabbit hole of what I like to call sexy work.
okay.
And it's been rewarding.
Well,
It really has been.
I tell you what, I used to DJ some of those clubs. So yeah, it's people walk in and they don't look back, or they do it for a while, or they come back. You know, they come when it's convenient. There's not a right or wrong way of doing that. But you know, I don't have x-ray vision right now. I wish I did, because that outfit you have looks good, but man, underneath it, I could see why you were, yeah, doing what you
Well,
do.
there's plenty out there to see.
She's worthy of more than a few dollars. Okay, so if you run into her, okay, just make sure you're courteous and generous to her. She has ways of reporting it back. Okay, it's worth every dollar. But anyway, that's how it kind of gets rolling for some people. Did they try to discourage you while you were in the strip clubs? Because a lot of women will say, don't take the next step, stay where you are. You know, they kind of downgrade it, believe it or not. But if you think about it, they're somewhat parallel, stripping and adult entertainment all together. They kind of have a medium somewhere, if you think about it.
Absolutely. And in my mind, they're totally related, and they feed off of each other. But a lot of clubs don't see that, and some clubs do. They'll have featured performers But what I find is if you're a featured performer, you can't expect to be a regular girl working there. I mean, you have to be so good that like you come into town and you make a scene and then you're moving on. It's not like you can do that and then expect to work the week shift.
This is true. You know, featured performers have their place, and they will come
right
back.
And you can't be doing your side hustle at the club. Like when I first started shooting content and, you know, making my own content, and the OnlyFans came on the scene, I was at the club like giving out my card, and management was like, no,
Yeah.
you cannot do that. I was like, why? It's like, it's feeding me, it's feeding the club. Well, they're not getting a cut of what I make on OnlyFans. So that's reason enough for them. It's separate. Sure. You know, stripping is one thing, a private dance, and then sex work is another thing. Like I was blacklisted in West Virginia, and I was fortunate enough to finally earn a job. There's like 5 clubs in a 20-mile radius where I lived in the Panhandle of West Virginia, and worked at one club for 2 or 3 years, and it was a great experience. And then when I started shooting, the owner of the club gave me an ultimatum. She was like, you either stop shooting, you know, or you lose your job. And I said, well, I'm going to keep shooting because that's something that I own. And I already started shooting. And once you start shooting, how do you stop?
Okay, well, let me ask you this, because in the DFW area, or pretty much Texas, the whole state, it's like the club owners, they don't pay the girls. Like, you get the tips, yes, but they don't pay you salary, they don't pay you hourly. Sometimes they'll give you a bonus if you show up for 3 or 4 days. I know when I DJ'd, they were like, if you show up on the Mondays and Tuesdays, then you can work the Fridays and Saturdays. Not just weekends. Right. We need you to fill the club when it's kind of low. But if you did, they will sometimes give you a bonus between $50 to $100 or more. Depends on how many people you brought and how many days you showed up. So does that work with you on the East Coast?
I never got a bonus for, I never got any bonuses like that.
Well, the bonuses that I give you will not be cash bonuses, okay? But I give you a bonus, all right.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get situated here.
Yeah, it makes really good for a podcast. Everybody's getting seasick now. She's adjusting.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
But see, she's got pretty privilege. She can get away with it. When you get pretty privilege, you can get away with a lot of things, okay? So we're privileged.
I mean, I did get paid hourly at the club I worked at. But I mean, it was like server wages, like a couple dollars an hour.
Sure. And some clubs don't even give you that at all. You know, the laws are different per state, and I get that. West Virginia, y'all need to be lucky to have a pretty woman like this. I've heard about some of the women up there, okay? She comes in.
It was fun working West Virginia clubs because full nude, full bar. I mean, it's just a good time. It's really something special.
We got that.
And if I ever went back to West Virginia, I would hope that I could find work because it's a good time, and a lot of people from out of state come into those clubs, and
of course,
you never know what's going to pop off.
Well, let me ask. It was
a good time, and I don't feel like I should have to choose. And I finally found a club that was willing to work with me.
Sure.
On that, and I'm very fortunate because I moved out to North Carolina, and believe it or not, you wouldn't believe this story in a million years, but a girl I worked with in West Virginia, she ended up auditioning the same night I was in North Carolina.
Okay.
And she's somebody who I confided in about working in this industry because, a lot of companies will say, if you know any girls, you know any girls who are willing. So, and then I have some of the dancers saying, if you can get me in. So I'm kind of the monkey in the middle there, and she's one of the girls I confided in, and she was auditioning that same night, and they got word of that, and the club straight up told me, they said, we don't hire girls that do what you do, is what they said to me.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this.
So even in this state, I can't find a job as a dancer, right? It's like I've gone through the threshold of the industry, and I can no longer do that in these smaller towns.
Okay, let me ask you this real fast, because when you do your first adult production, it's the first, like you learn how to ride a bike, you learn how to get on stage the first time. This is your first production. Like, how was the experience with someone you didn't know, yet you're on camera, and there may be more strangers or people behind production? Because we just see you and whoever or whatever's there through the POV. type of thing. And I always ask these people this because, like, the first time you jump, this is your maiden voyage into the adult industry. Was it awkward? Was it comfortable? Were you attracted to the person or persons that were there? And how did it go?
That's a loaded question as well.
Well, then load us up.
So my first experience with a big company, you know, when I was a new girl, first on Sexy Jobs.
Okay.
I had a couple big companies to reach out to me, and of course, your first scene is the most valuable scene. Your first boy girl, your first anal scene.
Okay.
So this particular company, they own that for me. They own my first scene. And I was so excited to go out, and it was a lovely experience, you know, leading up to it. And then on set, this company, once they start rolling, they don't like to stop. They like to go from start to finish.
Sure.
So for the record, I would like to say that I was ready to go. But the male talent that they had hired had a bad day. And that's fine. That happens. I mean, the men in this industry, they are the ones that, you know, it's all riding on them.
Yeah.
If they can perform, you know, a woman on her worst day can make it through the shoot. A man cannot.
I've heard that before.
So this man could not.
I heard that before because it's like we compare ourselves to what we have seen. We see the fantasy. We are trying to live out the things that are done, but at the end of the day, it's an act. There are things behind that. There are going to be people taking the enhancement pills. There are going to be people who have rested and waited, you know, for a while to do that. And then you have the pressure of the camera stuff. And if it goes south, you're holding up production. We got to perform and get back.
Yeah.
And the woman's like, hey, I'm ready. So I heard that a lot. I've never done anything like this before because I have obligations with my job and stuff like that. Besides, no one wants to be the guy who does National Sex Day on camera anyway. What the hell? But so that was a pleasant experience, except for he couldn't get there. But did he ultimately?
That's not even the worst part. The worst part is that the company had me say on camera that they had me act as if I was uncomfortable with it. And at the time I had a girlfriend, bless her heart. She was putting up for all this mess. Anybody who's ever been with me, bless their hearts, because this is not an easy thing to accept from your partner. But they made me say on camera that, you know, I had to talk to my girlfriend about it. And like, I didn't know if I could do this or not. And that was not the truth.
It's an act.
I mean, if you pull up this video today, you will see me saying, oh, I don't know if I could do this. But like, I was hot in the biscuit. I was ready to go.
Yeah, it's an act.
We had to reschedule the shoot.
It's an act. At the end of the day, you know, and they make you do what they do. They know how to get the value and stuff like that. And as you've gotten along, obviously, because you've done more films, that you know how it kind of works. And I understand that you're probably doing some other productions of your own that you can modify and produce and put out there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I think I need to go to the Carolinas and be on set. I do have a film degree, radio, TV, film, 2014.
Maybe you could be behind the scenes.
And then we don't, as long as we don't,
I could always use help.
As long as we don't show the after party, we good, okay?
All right.
Yeah. Speaking of party, is there a party hanging out with you right now? I'm looking at the girls on the screen. I'm looking down at my monitor.
At my breast?
Yes.
What, do you want to see them?
Of course I do.
Is that what you're insinuating?
Yeah.
You want me to flash you right now?
I do.
Okay. You sure?
Positive.
I don't know if you can handle it. Can the audience handle it?
Audience, you guys are going to decide once you see them, okay? All right.
3, 2, 1. Oh, that's right.
Woo, I didn't bring any water.
Right, that's how you get.
I didn't bring a drink. See, you caught me off guard. But next time you do that, next time we have another podcast, I'll be on guard, okay?
Okay.
I promise that. I do promise. So you gotta tell everybody where they could find you, your social media, your Twitter, all that stuff. People want to know where you are. So how can they find you and reach out to you?
I have a website. It's Appalachian Assortments. if you can spell that, AppalachianAssortments.com.
Okay.
And then I'm on Twitter as Appalachian Arse, which is ARSE, Appalachian Arse.
Okay.
And if you just Google Appalachian Ass, mini vids will come up, Pornhub.
Okay.
You'll probably see some other sites and videos posted. Paisley Flowers or Appalachian Ass.
I like that a lot. I like that because you have
OnlyFans, Paisley Flowers.
You have mountains that move. See, I do like your mountaintops. They're pretty good, especially at the peak. Okay.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you so much.
Can I mention one of your occupations that you do, not the company, but the thing you do outside of the industry?
Sure. I'm a musician for one. You know, if I could, as I told you earlier, you know, if there's one thing I could choose, it'd be music.
Okay.
But
you also
I work in the death care. I work in the death care industry.
She's a mortician or works as a mortician, trying to be a funeral director, correct?
Yeah, embalmer mostly. That's what I'm going for.
Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't need those chemicals for you to make me stiff.
Oh my God. You are working on these. You are not coming up with this on the spot.
Yes, I am. You don't have to worry
Well,
about
that was good.
Trust me, you talk about, yeah.
Oh my God, that was so good.
All the way to the mountains, baby. All the way to the mountains. I love it. I love it. Hey, I do want to thank you for being on this podcast. I want to thank you for giving me your time. I want to thank you for being a bright, bubbly person that you are. And also, I will invite other people back to do a part 2 or part 3 because people like follow-ups. You know, this is not the only time that we have just the interview. You will be asked to come back. And if you want to come back, I'd love to have you back.
I would love to. Thank you.
Yeah. And if I'm ever in the Carolinas, can I look you up?
Please do.
Yeah, I heard that. She said, please. Sometimes you just gotta go with it, and I plan on it. So thank you again, everybody. Check out the links that we're gonna post in the end of the segment. We're gonna have all the lists there and stuff. If you are an entertainer, we want to hear from you. If you work in the sex industry as a counselor, a health professional, a nurse, anybody who does STD prevention, we want to talk to you. We want to make sure everybody has a voice to say what they have to say about National Sex Day. So we go from the really, really minimal to sometimes the extreme, but it's all under the same umbrella. It's all about it, y'all. We don't have one facet, we're multifaceted. Thanks for being a part of this. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.